Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Unforgettable Tales number 1 and number 2 by Ethan Van Sciver. So here's the new all caps comics packaging, pretty nice. I didn't know he paid for priority 2-day mail. That's pretty sweet. I didn't know these campaigns could afford it. It's pretty nice though, right here. Anyhow, Gemini mailer, straightforward right here. The tape here is really fascinating. I kind of like it. Definitely, puts Ethan's brand on the whole package for sure. Anyhow, opening this up. Come on, you. Get up here. And here we go. Holy cow. The covers are amazing. Oh man, the foil embossment here, I think I like it more than the chromiums. And of course, we got the standees and all the swag. Let's open up this swag here. Anyhow, really kind of liking the form factor that these Comicsgate books are starting to come in. This one right here is only $20 for 2 comic books and a bunch of other swag, so definitely a better deal than the usual ones. I didn't end up building any of these things just because they're not really my thing, but the cards here definitely are. Holy cow, these cards are dope. Look at these. So those are both basically the cover that he drew for these 2 comic books. And I think that's actually, it looks like a bookmark, but it's actually not. I think it's a sticker. I'm not sure if it's like a bumper sticker or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really a car sticker guy, but pretty cool. I might put it on one of my short boxes. Holy cow. Dude, this redraw of the original cover is amazing. That's like a crazy good cover. Anyhow, I do want to mention one thing. These books are ridiculously heavy. In a good way, but also in a ridiculous way. This is actually about almost the same weight as Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb, the first version is. Foil cover is fantastic, really pretty. You actually can't scan it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, dude, it's freaking cardstock on the inside. It's like, holy cow. Dude, these things are so freaking huge. Oh, man. Anyway, gonna open up the second one right here. Pop it open and go. But yeah, shiny back cover. Here's the second cover with Deathfly. Very good. Yeah, I think Ethan was saying that he was kind of teed off at people criticizing Cyberfrog with the thin paper and the fluting. So he kind of went overboard on this one, and I would definitely say he went overboard. This is a very durable saddle-stitched book, that's for certain. I almost kind of prefer it to be a little thin, but again, I wasn't the one who complained about the paper in the first Cyberfrog book. But yeah, here's all the swag here. Oh man, what a package, right? Anyhow, let's get to the book itself. Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales is basically issues number 1 and 2 of Harris Comics of Cyberfrog. And let's get it together. This is without a doubt a product of the 90s. But in a way, it's still pretty fun to read, and definitely approach it in a sort of like fun, amusing kind of, I guess, attitude. Because Cyberfrog is by far a freaking edgelord in these books. Anyhow, what's really fascinating when I go through reviewing these books is that according to Ethan Van Sciver, he drew these books on A4 paper. Which is your typical 11.5 by 8 or 11 by 8.5 paper that you'd throw in a printer. So that he drew on this paper back in the 90s is freaking insane. But anyway, I'm just kind of showing images of the comic right here. Here's Deathfly about to kill some really annoying people. You could definitely see that Ethan is kind of like just throwing whatever he wants in the comic. And it's a lot of inside jokes and funny sort of gags here. Here's Deathfly after he eats the people. He spits out of a cassette of Pearl Jam, which is apparently a band that Ethan doesn't really like. I'm like okay about Pearl Jam, you know. Jeremy spoken. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, no. So this comic was recolored and relettered by Kyle Ritter and relettered by Eric Weathers. And they did an amazing job. The lettering is fantastic, and it really reminds you of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. And then the colors by Kyle Ritter are freaking unreal. You wouldn't even think this is a 90s comic with how good the coloring is in some of this. But anyhow, yeah, Cyberfrog kind of goes around, instituting his own form of justice, including beating up on some robbers right here while picking up a Snapple from a 7-Eleven. The Cyberfrog in these books is very, very dark and edgy. Kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but even darker. And he definitely kind of has a little bit of like Deadpool in him in these books. Because he does kind of talk a lot, and he does in fact talk a lot and monologue a lot to the reader, which is kind of a staple of Deadpool or She-Hulk too. Yeah, the art, like, I can't get over the fact that this was Ethan drawing on A4 paper in the 90s. It's like mind-boggling when you look at this art, because even though it's definitely not his greatest stuff by far, or any of the, like, it doesn't compare to like Cyberfrog Blood Honey, it's amazing if you think of the limitations that he was dealing with at the time. This is actually a pretty great panel where he jams a dude's head into a wall. Yeah, Cyberfrog just kind of goes around Manhattan beating up gangs and killing people. Not exactly a hero, that's for certain. So yeah, Ethan learned a lot when he went to DC about storytelling, and Cyberfrog Blood Honey definitely, benefits from Ethan's time at DC. So here we go with Ben Reilly, about ready to kill some chick, and there's some random dude in the background throughout this entire scene where you're like, what the hell? There's a lot of, like, I feel inside jokes to like Ethan's time at Harris that you probably wouldn't realize. In this panel freaking makes me laugh every time. It's freaking Barney as a servant of Satan. Like, you can't get any more edgy 90s than making fun of Barney. It's pretty good. Oh man. So yeah, eventually Deathfly and Cyberfrog get into a fight. Cyberfrog's too busy trying to find Trent Kainuga in the Yellow Pages, and Deathfly kind of tosses him and drops him from like high altitude, where he freaking falls on this one superhero, Deadbolt, this freaking jobber superhero, and it's kind of funny how irreverent the whole scene is. And you definitely get a feel for, like, these comics, they're kind of funny, but they're definitely like a lot of inside jokes for Ethan and his time at Harris Comics. Anyhow, yeah, after he does that, he kind of jumps out of the ground, goes off, and you're left to find out what else happens in the crazy adventures of Cyberfrog. Now to the art. Here's a sketch that I kind of did. I kind of, started with the pencil, and for some reason I drew Deathfly more of in his 90s incarnation, where he kind of looks cartoony and almost like Todd McFarlane-like. But then I kind of changed my mind when I went to the actual detailed art, and then I went to the more modern style that Ethan does. Again, I don't know what it is about Ethan's art, but for some reason I feel inclined to put like heavy detail. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I wanted to put like reflections in his pauldrons because that's such a Cyberfrog thing. But I ended up being like, it's so much work, especially with, I don't know why I put so much time into his damn hands. So the modern version of Cyberfrog has these like sort of chain little facets of metal that his hands are made of, or his wrists too. And it takes like a while to draw, and I was like, oh my god. Anyhow, I thought it was pretty fun to draw it. It's him opening up a Snapple bottle. Yeah, no, man. Whew. I don't know why, but for some reason I see Ethan's art and I just want to do high detailed stuff. Anyhow, that's the review. It's totally a fun comic to pick up and buy. The campaign is over now on Indiegogo, but if you take a look at his eBay account, which I'll put in the description below, these will probably show up. Unfortunately, probably a little more expensive than what people are used to, but overall, a really fun package to pick up from Indiegogo, and definitely a lot cheaper than buying the actual Harris Comics off of eBay. Anyhow, that's a review. Let me know what you think. If you like the review, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. If you got any comments about Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales 1 and 2 or my art, leave it down below, and I will see you next time.